Premdor are one of the country's leading manufacturers of all types of doors and doorsets, and their SoundSecure Doorset is a smart way to meet the strict regulations and complex demands of internal apartment entrance locations. And as you'll see, it's easy to install. So let's get started. SoundSecure comes as a single unit ready to install and complete with comprehensive installation instructions and all the necessary door furniture and other accessories. Before starting, check the dimensions shown on the labelling on the edge of the doorset. Check the opening is true and square. Then check the width of the opening. Ideally, it should be at least 5 mm wider than the doorset. Do the same with the height of the opening. Just to be sure, check the width and height of the doorset. Lift the doorset into position and set it in the opening. Take care, this is a two-person lift. Open the door at a right angle to the opening and rest it on a bearer. Align the base of the set within the opening. Using a tape measure, find the locations of the fixing points for the frame and mark them all. For the first point, measure 700 mm from the top of the door. Drill a countersunk hole where you've made the marks. Then drill a guide hole through the frame. Next, use a drill bit where appropriate to the type of the wall. Drill a hole to take the plug and fixing screw. Using a hammer, knock the plug into the hole. Then tap a fixing screw into the plug. Finally, tighten the screw using a screwdriver. With one screw fixed, check the frame for plumb. Carefully use a hammer to make any adjustments to the alignment of the frame, remembering to check the alignment of the bottom of the frame. Check again for plumb and mark the position of the frame on the wall for reference. Then repeat the drilling, plugging and screwing steps to complete the fixing of the hinge side of the frame into the opening. This should be positioned 700 mm from the bottom of the door. The third and fourth fixings should be hidden behind the blades of the top and bottom hinges. Remove the screws from the frame part of the top hinge. Then ease the hinge away from the frame. Following the same process as before, fit a frame screw so that it'll be hidden by the blade of the hinge. Hammer home a plug. A fixing screw and tighten using a screwdriver. Reattach the hinge blade and repeat for the bottom hinge. Before fixing the other side of the frame, check the threshold for level. Then check that the frame is square and that the door closes. After any fine adjustments to the unfixed side, measure and mark the location of the 4 fixing points. These should be placed in the same locations as on the hinge side of the frame. Starting from the top, countersink, drill through the frame, and drill into the wall to make the frame fixings. Insert a plug. Hammer a screw into it. And tighten with a screwdriver, taking care not to over-tighten. Check again that the door closes easily. Then, using spacers, check that the gap between the door and frame is even. After checking that this side of the frame is plumb, repeat these steps for the 3 remaining frame fixings. With the frame now firmly secured, check again that the door opens and closes easily, and that the gap between door and frame is still even. As SoundSecure door sets are fire doors, any gaps between the frame and the wall must be appropriately filled and sealed. Mask off the edge of the frame where it adjoins the wall. Then pack the gap between the wall and the frame on the sides and top with mineral wool. Then use intumescent sealant to cap off the mineral wool. Repeat this on the other side of the door set. Remove the masking tape, and the SoundSecure door set is installed and the job almost complete. Ecoframe is an optional, fully finished, maintenance-free alternative to traditional timber. If it's an Ecoframe model, the protective tape should be removed at this point after the installation is complete. And all SoundSecure door sets feature a 3-point Espagnolette locking system. There's an incredible choice of designs and finishes. The fit and appearance is second to none. All that needs to be done now is to fit the lock, handles and threshold, and to make any final adjustments. First, take the cylinder. Remove the thumb turn by either undoing the grub screw or pushing in the release pin as appropriate. Slide the external half of the cylinder guard over the external side of the cylinder. Align the lower part of the cylinder guard with a center cam or screw hole and tighten the 2 grub screws into the cylinder. Locate the cylinder into the door from the outside of the door set. Then fix the cylinder locating screw, but do not fully tighten. Slide the other half of the cylinder guard over the other side of the cylinder and secure with the Allen key. SoundSecure door sets are supplied with a choice of spindles to allow for 2 modes of lock operation, solid or split spindle. Fit either the solid or split spindle as appropriate. Insert the split spindle, then fit the door handle over the lock and spindle. Repeat with the remaining handle on the other side of the door. Be aware that the handles should be fitted so that their screws are fitted on the inside of the door. Push the fixing screws into place and hand tighten. Tighten using a screwdriver. Then finish tightening the cylinder locking screw. Now replace the thumb turn. In split spindle mode, the door cannot be opened from the outside using the handle. To open the door, a key must be used. This security feature helps prevent walk-in burglaries, as the door locks as soon as it's closed. To lock the door from the inside, lift the handle to engage the top and bottom bolts, and turn the thumb turn. The fitting of the solid spindle is identical to the split option. In solid spindle mode, if the door is not locked with the key, it can always be opened from the outside using the handle. From the inside, the door is still locked by fitting the handle and turning the thumb turn. The final part is installing the aluminium threshold plate. This must always be fitted even with the optional hardwood threshold. There are two ways to fit the plate. The first is to apply 2 rows of grab adhesive to the back of the plate and press into place. The second being to drill 4 countersunk holes into the threshold and screw the plate into place. The drop seal fitted in the bottom of the door needs to be adjusted so that it makes contact with the threshold when closed. To adjust, open the door and turn the button on the hinge side of the drop seal, which causes it to lower. Several turns may be necessary. When correctly adjusted, the seal should be able to grip a piece of paper placed under the floor. To allow the locks to function correctly and the door to close properly, some fine adjustments may need to be made to the lock keeps in the door frame. This is done by turning the adjusting mechanism on the keeps. Handles, eye viewer and security chain all come as standard with SoundSecure door sets. A fire-rated security letter plate option is also available. SoundSecure from Premdor. Meet regulations, be safe, be secure.